Hi, Will here for Sound on Sound at the Summer NAMM show in Nashville with Alan from Eventide, who's going to show us the new Ultratap plugin. So Alan, the Ultratap, people might know it from the H9, right? Is it the same algorithm or what?
It is. It has a little bit of a updated change, which I'll explain, but it is essentially an effect that can be found in our Stompbox, the H9.
And I see it says H9 plugin series on the interface as well. What can we infer from that?
Well, we hope to do more in the future, taking sounds out of the H9 pedal, putting them in a plugin format which you can use with your favorite DAW.
Okay, perfect. Let's have a listen then, shall we?
Sure. At its core, Ultratap is 64 taps of delay. And we allow you to do different things with those taps in musical ways that are probably not available in any other delay. So this is a really unique take on a tap delay. With 64 taps, you can adjust the length of the span of those 64 things. If you choose the max, which is 64, you can say, I want those to all happen within 4,000 milliseconds. Or you can have them all happen in 10 milliseconds. 64 things in 10 milliseconds. It's going to sound like a bee.
Right, okay, so you can get into sort of reverb type sounds as well then, can you?
Yeah, depending on how you taper and trail those taps, you can get reverb-like sounds, you can get in-between delay and reverb sounds. A lot of really creative things that are not available, as I say, in other delay effects.
Okay, let's hear it then.
Okay, so right now we have, I'll just play the bypass piano track that we have here. Okay, so this is a preset, it's called Batman, and this will add a sort of reverb-like delay in the background, and you'll hear that it adds just this almost other instrument to the piano. So it's not a reverb, but it's doing something reminiscent of a reverb, but it's also almost sounding like someone else is playing a synth part or a string part on top of it. Those are the type of effects that you can do with Ultratap.
And I see there's a slurm control though, which isn't exactly a well-known control on most effects.
That's right.
What is slurm?
Not your standard parameter, but at Eventide, we've been known to invent things. And we invented this parameter, slurm. Our developer, Russell Wedlick, came up with this. And what it does is, in a most basic way, blurs these taps together in ways that at extreme settings make it indistinguishable from each tap, and at subtle settings let you hear each tap. So if you want to have all these 64 taps ring out in a blurred way where you can't actually pick out each one, you turn that slurm all the way up. It's very cool, and the middle settings are where the magic is.
Can we hear just an example of that shifting then?
Sure. Let's turn the slurm down. So you heard when I stopped it, all the taps kind of like da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay.
But they were getting faster as well, so there's presumably some parameters for that.
So here's the opposite extreme of that.
So it essentially turns it into more of a reverby
Yeah,
sound.
you can hear that the tail is less of a defined stutter and more of a reverb kind of thing, but anywhere in between. And we also give you other ways to manipulate the taps as well. There's actually a lot of different ways that you can use these taps musically.
Such as?
Well, we have chop, which chops up the taps in various ways. You hear a little bit of the square chopping that was going on in there. I was switching it around to a swell thing, which is more of like fading in the taps. The spread and the taper controls also allow you to do different manipulations of the way that these taps are spaced. In other words, they don't always have to be even. Sometimes you want the taps to start out slow and then get faster and faster, like a bouncing ball, for example.
Okay, Alan, how much will that cost then, and when will it be available?
It's going to have an MSRP of $79, but we're doing an introductory sale price of $49, and it should be available August 1st.
Fantastic. Thanks very much.
Thank you, guys.